This is the equation that helped me make my first $1 million. And once you learn this equation, money will be automatic and wealth will be inevitable. I used to have debilitating stage fright, but now I get paid to speak all over the world. And my rates are available if you look hard enough online. So someone asked me, how in the world did you get paid so much to speak for 45 minutes? And I told them I didn't get paid that much, 5 figures, to speak for 45 minutes. I got paid that much for 40 years of my experience. What I'm going to teach you in this video is how to get paid not for your time, but for your very existence. I want you to write down this equation. Value equals personal brand plus unique skills, and that's in parentheses, times network plus impact, and that is in parentheses, divided by effort. Your personal brand is how you are perceived. This includes your online presence, how you show up in real life, and your general image. Unique skills. This is the specialized knowledge that sets you apart from other people. This can include technical or practical. So hard skills and what they call soft skills. Your network. These are the relationships and contacts that you have and that you build. This can be your peers, your mentors, your mentees, industry contacts, and more. In your network, your followers are also included. Impact, the measurable outcomes and results you achieve. This can be in the form of successful projects, satisfied clients, innovations, and contributions to your field. Effort, the minimal input that you need to exert to generate significant value. This represents in our equation the efficiency and leverage of your contributions. So let's break it down and look at me as a case study. My personal brand is something that helped you find this video. Whether this is the first time you're ever hearing of me or you've been riding with me for a long time, my personal brand had a lot to do with you being here. Most people know me as someone who is a prolific investor. I've invested in more than 200 companies in the last decade. Someone who has my own companies, including Yachtwater, HireRunner.co, and more. Someone who put on a 2,000 person event in LA in 2024 called Your First Million Live, where Issa Rae, Rich Paul, and TLC were just some of the guests. A paid speaker and author of 2 books on major publishers. It's About Damn Time from 2020 and Your First Million from 2024, and so on and so forth. You know me from one or more of these things. And if you didn't before, now you do. My skills. I've invested in more than 200 companies. I know a thing or two about making investments in startups and championing underestimated founders. I have a way of storytelling that helps draw people in, and I have a strategic vision that some people say is inspiring. So this sets me apart in a lot of ways from traditional venture capitalists. My network is really interesting. You have people like Mark Cuban, who I have a $6 million joint venture with. I have thousands and thousands of founders in my network that I can call upon at any time, and thousands of investors that I know. And in my close circle, there are doctors and lawyers and authors and teachers and mechanics and all sorts of people who I can call upon and brainstorm with almost any time. And they feel the same way about me. There are people in my network who have made millions and millions of dollars in the last few years alone and live lives that I once only dreamed of. My network helps me amplify my reach and create opportunities for other people. So my impact probably is immeasurable because of so many investments made and so many people watching and being inspired by the work that I do. Effort. This part is important. I have learned to strategically focus my effort by focusing on high impact activities. I also have learned a lot of boundaries and how to say no to 90% of what is offered to me. Make sure you are a subscriber of my YouTube channel and that you hit the like button right now. When you hit the like button, what it does is it tells YouTube in the algorithm that people are interested in this video and that they're watching a lot of it. And then that helps it get seen by more people. There are more impressions. And then it's my job to make people click and to keep people interested. So it'll help me out so much if you'll hit the like button right now and subscribe. More than 60% of the people who watch my videos do not subscribe to my channel. So if you don't want to miss a video, if you're getting any type of value from this, and if you want more people to learn this equation, hit the like button and subscribe. All right, I want to teach you how to apply this equation in your life starting today. First thing you're going to do is invest in your personal brand. And I mean invest money and time. And if you don't have a lot of money, spend more time. If you don't have a lot of time, spend more money. Your job is going to be to cultivate a compelling and authentic image. So said another way, you're just going to be yourself in front of more people. This starts with some self-reflection. You're going to start to understand what some of your strengths are, your values, your beliefs, what you hold dear, what is true about you, and what makes you unique. And before you say there's nothing that makes you unique, I guarantee you there is. You start with points on board because there's only one of you in the entire world. This introspection, this looking inward, is a crucial first step. The next part of the personal brand is consistency in your messaging. Ensure, for instance, that your online presence is consistent across all of social. If you have a personal website, if you have a LinkedIn, if you have a YouTube, if you have anything online, try to keep it consistent. Now, we know we use different platforms for different parts of ourselves, and we contain multitudes. But if someone visits a different page, they should see the same person, maybe just a different mood. And one hack I learned from a guy named Ryan Hoover, who runs Product Hunt, is that you should keep the same image consistently. I have an image that is 8 or 9 years old on my Twitter account, and I refuse to change it because if I change it, I'm disrupting that personal brand that I have created. I'm disrupting that personal brand that I have cultivated for so long. Content creation. Share your knowledge and experience and wisdom with other people through content, like a YouTube channel. I have videos on my channel that teach you how to start a YouTube channel, why you should start one, and how you can actually get paid to promote your company or brand. You also want to engage with your audience once you have one. That's all part of your personal brand. You'll notice that I do that so much, and I've been doing that for more than 20 years. And there are people who have been following me for those 20 years or for 10 years or 5 years. And it's because I responded to a comment or liked something that they posted or retweeted, reposted, shared their stories. That is really how you cultivate your audience. They become part of a community that you're building. Next, you want to enhance your skills. You want to stack your skills. You want to identify where there may be skills gaps. You can take online courses. You can take online quizzes to help you with that, things of that nature. You can read different job descriptions in your lane and see what you're able to do and what you're not able to do at a job that pays you more than you get paid now. That's one way to understand what skill gap you may have. You're going to do continuous learning, online courses, going to events. You're going to get certified if you need to. And there are really unlimited way that you can stack your skills. I still do this every single day. I read, I watch a lot of YouTube videos that are tutorials, educational, in my lane, in what I'm interested in. And I'm always trying to get better and smarter and better and smarter every single day. Because when I was broke, I had no money. I was on food stamps 10 years ago or so. And I was trying to raise a venture capital firm that now I have, Backstage Capital, when I didn't know if I was going to eat. What I did know is that I could learn every single day and nobody could take that away from me. So that was an empowering thing for me, is to know no matter what's going on in my life, I can learn and be better than the day before. You also want to do practical application. Don't just learn, you also want to implement. So you can volunteer to do something for someone, you can take on a new project, you can do something that other people get paid to do if you're just learning, so you can become the apprentice for yourself. There are a lot of options there too that we should think about when we're thinking about stacking those skills. Think about when you're trying to learn a new language. You can learn a lot in the textbook and on the app, but until you're talking to someone who speaks that language, it doesn't click all the way. That's what you want to do with all types of learning. While you're learning, keep receipts. You want to be able to later on say what your credentials are, say what you've learned. It doesn't have to be, oh, I went to this college. It just needs to be that you know certain things, that you created a school for yourself. This is what I did, and this is how I made my first million and way beyond. Your network. You are going to build your network starting today. One main way to do this, if you haven't started building your network, I talk about this in another video, where you can have a 5 or 6 person dinner. Maybe you invite 10 people to it and half of them say yes. They come to the dinner, you introduce them to each other. You have everybody go around the table and say who they are and what's important to them. And then you foster conversation. And at some point during that dinner, you're going to say, there's one ask that I have. And you're going to talk to them about maybe one challenge that you have. Do not ask them for money because you just met them or it's not the right time, but ask them, does someone know a mentor? Does someone know the answer to this question I've had? Does someone know how I should approach this challenge because I'm stuck? And that's going to be the beginning of an outpouring of help for you. Because you're fostering that with other people, they're going to want to reciprocate that. So don't expect anything that same day. Do this, have it be a cool experience, and then somewhere in the universe, it'll come back to you. You might want to join a professional group. I have worked with Chief before for women executives. That's a good example. There's so many other examples. I know that Afrotech has an executive program. I know there's so many places you can go, but you want to join these. It doesn't have to be for corporates either. It can be for entrepreneurs. It can be for teachers. It can be for writers. There's so many places. They're all over the internet, and all you need to do is vet it, talk to a few people who are already in the group, and ask to join. And obviously, some of these cost money. And if you can't afford it right now, what did I say before? If you don't have a lot of money, use a lot of time. So maybe there's a bartering thing that you can do, or maybe you're simply going to raise and earn that money by doing other things. And that is going to be your aspirational next step. It's important to engage and contribute during these different social activities. I know for some people that can be difficult, but honestly, even if you offer someone help one-on-one and not in front of a big group, it's going to come back tenfold to you. It's so important that you engage. It's just like being online. You know, the algorithm rewards you when you like other people's content and when you watch other people's content, and you're not just someone who is on a platform only trying to get likes and views. So the more you contribute to the ecosystem, whether that's online or in person, whether that's for a social platform or for a group you're in, that is going to really reward you in the end. Make sure that you follow up. So if you meet someone and you have a great conversation with them, try not to drop the ball there. That's why it's important not to try to meet as many people as possible when you go to conferences or concerts or events. You're trying to meet 1 or 2 people that you have a true connection with, that you can then follow up with. Impact. For your impact, you want to set clear goals. If you think about me 10 years ago, I said, I want to invest in 100 companies led by underrepresented founders by 2020. Now, my venture fund, Backstage Capital, reached 100 companies in May of 2018 because I had that clear vision and that statement of what I wanted to make happen in the world. Yours doesn't have to be that big. It doesn't have to be that impactful just yet, But if you have something where you say, this is a milestone that I want to do, this is why I say write your own headlines. In my first book, It's About Damn Time, there's a whole chapter about writing your own headlines, giving yourself that North Star. Another thing you're going to do, which is also part of effort, is you're going to identify high impact activities, things that over-index on outcomes for less amount of time or effort. And make sure that you prioritize things that align with you, align with what you want and what you want the world to look like. Again, you're going to measure and document. You're going to keep the receipts, because what you're going to do with that later, you're going to use those earned achievements in so many ways. For instance, maybe you'll write a book of your own. Or if you already have a book, maybe there are 2 or 3 more books in you. But it's that lived experience, that impact, and that documenting that gets you there. So the big one is effort. If you can get the effort right and calibrate it to be optimized, you're going to be unstoppable. Just what I said about impact, you're going to optimize for high impact, lower effort. And this is not because we're going to be lazy. This is because the more leverage we have, the more we'll be able to do in our lifetime and impact the world. You want a high ROI, return on investment, when it comes to your time and your effort. One way to do this really well is to delegate and outsource. There's a book called Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell that I want you to pick up or listen to the audio version as soon as you can. And this will show you how to take back your life, buy back your time, so that you can focus on only the highest impact activities. You're also going to use technology and tools, and yes, even AI, to collapse time. We are very fortunate people. We live in a very opportune time where things take so much less time to accomplish than they have in the past. So you're going to turn those tools that you may be afraid of right now into a jetpack. I said before that one of the things that has helped me make my first million and beyond is creating boundaries for myself. I used to have no boundaries whatsoever. Now I have strict boundaries. Who I speak with, who I spend time around, whose energy gets to be around me, what I say yes to, and what I say no to. These are so important. I'll give you a quick example. A few weeks ago, I had a 3 or 4 week stretch of travel, appearances, paid speaking, all sorts of things that were a high responsibility for me that I was excited to do. But I found myself so burnt out because I have been on the road for 6 months this year alone. So I said to myself, I can't do that at the highest quality and standard that I feel like I should. And even though it was going to disappoint some people, I knew that at the end of the day, I had to do what was right. So I canceled 3 to 4 weeks of really fun activities. I'm talking about Essence Fest, Cannes Lion, traipsing all over the country. But I instead sat at home, worked my butt off from home, watched a lot of TV, and refreshed. I got a lot of rest, and now I look forward to the months of travel that I have for the rest of the year, and I'll be a better person for it. This is all about continuous improvement. We talk about improving our videos on YouTube by 1% every time we post. We talk about improvement here and there. What about improvement of ourselves every single day? How can I be better today than I was yesterday? And I look forward to being better tomorrow than I am today. So again, your personal brand plus your unique skills multiplied by your network and your impact, and then divided by the effort.